Hi, this is Chris Sass from quiltfabric.com. We're very happy to be a Judy Niemeyer certified store, and I just wanted to show you one of the tips for making your Judy Niemeyer quilt go much faster as you get ready to go. Because there's something that I learned from her that's not in, it's not written in the pattern anywhere. So this is one of the early parts of getting ready. You have some sheets that say TP on them. These are for templates. We're not going to use these. So if you have TP sheets, this pattern has several. I'm going to put those aside. This pattern also has ones that are NP 235, 236, and 237. I don't know what the NP stands for, but I know that these are the actual papers that we're going to paper piece on. So what you can do for any ones that you have more than one, and this is true in a lot of her patterns because you're always going to have at least 8 of something that you're making. And sometimes if you're doing something like a ballet wedding star, you have way more than that. So when you look at these, I've got, this is 235, and I've actually got 3 of them. Nope, I lied. Oh, I had 17 in here at TP. This is why you go through them one by one, because we wouldn't want to have accidentally cut those up. So that's a TP, and I'm going to put it over there. So I have 2 of this NP 235. And I want them to be right on top of each other, and I'm going to cut it both at once. Now, this particular one has a lot of room in between, and I could probably just start cutting, but that's not the case all the time. So I'm going to show you that what you should do is take a pin and make sure that you have them laying out so that, see, in this case, this has a number 1 over here and a 1 here, sometimes, and there's a 2 over here. You don't want to have them so that they're opposite like that. You want them stacked up identically. And those numbers are registration marks that the printer uses. So if you take a pin and you put it through, say, the top of the number 1, and then you go to your next sheet underneath and also put it through that same place, the top of the number 1, and you can do it for 4 or 5, however many of these you have. And then when they're lined up, and see, they don't line up perfectly on top of each other. The pages were off a little bit when they got printed, but now they're lined up perfectly. And then I'm going to staple there. And I would repeat that process on all the corners. So this should be pretty easy. I'm going to go in the corner of the 5. Oops. The corner of the 5 there, and then the corner of the 5 here. And really, I might do all the corners before I staple. But today I'm going to just staple because we're trying to do this quick. And like I said, there's enough room in here that I'm not too worried. So I'm going to staple in a few places that are not on the pieces, because all these places where I'm stapling on this extra paper are just going to be garbage later anyway. And then I'm going to take a ruler and a cutter, and I'm just going to cut through them. And for Judy, you want to leave about 1/4 inch or so, an 1/8 to 1/4 outside your pieces. And I'm just cutting around like this. And if you can imagine that if I had 8 of these, it would be much faster than I originally was cutting them all out by scissors. So this is only going to take me a minute or 2. It's actually better if you have the ruler. Well, there's 2 things to consider. If I have the ruler here so I can really see where I'm going, I could accidentally cut into the paper. So that's the downside of doing it this way. But the downside of doing it where you have the ruler over the thing is you can't see as well. So maybe in an ideal world I would have a clear piece of plastic, but I don't. So I just kind of go like this and look at the piece, and if I move my ruler along with my rotary cutter, I can cut this thing out in no time. Now if you're afraid to do that, you can do it freehand. But I always recommend if you're going to do it freehand, take your other hand and put it like behind your back, because we don't want any bloodshed. But anyway, by stapling these together, they're not moving, and I can do it. You can see how in just a few minutes it's all going to be done and cut out. And then I go to the next one and the next one, and you can cut your whole pattern out in, you know, half an hour to an hour, depending on how complicated it is. But it's way faster than sitting there with your scissors. So I hope this is useful, and thanks. Bye.